Sometimes during Sabbath, the bad priest didn't even allow to call the doctors for a very sick person. That's why many of the times the people cheated and broke Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's laws. So, to make the people's life easier, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to remove some of those hard rules. Prophet Zakaria and his son, Prophet Yahya, peace be upon them, were trying very hard to guide the Bani Israel to follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's laws. But it did not work. One time, the very bad king and some of the Bani Israel decided to kill those two great prophets. Prophet Zakaria and his son, Yahya, peace be upon them, were killed on the same day. But unfortunately, none of the Bani Israel tried to save them, or they never even said anything to stand up against those bad people. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala became very angry with Bani Israel's action. But the merciful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave just one last chance. With the Bani Israel, the miracle-born Jesus, peace be upon him. On the same day, when Prophet Zakaria and Yahya, peace be upon them, were killed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose Jesus, peace be upon him, as a prophet to guide Bani Israel. Everyone knew that he truly was a prophet because of his miraculous birth. So no one questioned him of becoming a prophet.
Did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send Prophet Isa alayhi wasallam only to Bani Israel?
Yes. Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, was sent only for the Bani Israel. And you will find the answer in Surah Imran, verse 48 to 50. Even in the Bible, the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24, also mentions that Prophet Isa, peace be upon him, only came for Bani Israel. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught him all of the books which were given to Musa and Dawood, peace be upon him. Jesus, peace be upon him, understood the depth meaning of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's laws. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also gave him a new book of laws, and that was called the Injil, or in English, the Gospel of Jesus, peace be upon him. From his hometown, in one gathering, he declared his prophethood to the people. But unfortunately, his own relatives and people of the town started to refuse him and his message. Day by day, it became very difficult for him to make others follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's laws. Only a few people accepted him as a prophet. And in those difficult situations, one day he asked some of the believers to be his helper and protect him from his enemies. Some of the believers agreed to be his helper. In the Quran, those helpers were called Hawari. They were very respectful and very good followers, like the Sahabas in Islam. Some scholars believe that there were 11 to 17 great special followers that stood with Prophet Isa, peace be upon him. They started to move from one place to another to tell the people about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's laws. During his work, he showed many miracles to the people with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help. You will find some of these examples in Surah Imran, verse 49. One day, he was crossing a marketplace with his followers, and on the way, he saw a blind man who was begging and said that he had been blind his whole life. Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, felt really bad for that blind man. So, he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cure the blind man's eyes. When he touched the blind man's eyes, as a miracle in front of many people. The blind man was able to see the world for the first time. At that point, many people instantly knew that he truly was a prophet from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One day, in a small town, he was giving a speech to the people. And then a man came and explained his very deadly skin disease and requested the prophet to cure his disease. Jesus, peace be upon him, prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that person. And as a miracle, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cured his disease in front of many people. And after seeing that miracle, many people started to follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's laws.